What is up everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're covering Bitcoin as it is absolutely pumping. Today it's up over 4.3%. It's the best performing coin in the probably top 100 cryptos today, which is usually quite rare. When Bitcoin's pumping, we'll usually see a lot of altcoins be pumping, 2 to 3 times what Bitcoin is doing. Obviously we have a few meme coins and a very rare amount of altcoins that are pumping a similar amount or a bit above what Bitcoin is pumping. However, we're going to be covering Bitcoin in today's video. Now, if you remember a few videos ago, we talked about this imminent breakout that is going to occur, which it did. And then we also talked about was coming down and retesting this exact point, which we also have done. And since then, we've been pumping. And if you remember, we also talked about breaking above this key resistance area right here, the big red one. And we broke above it with this daily candle. Now, if I go into the weekly chart here, it does look like this is going to be a bullish order block. Now, that is going to be extremely bullish for Bitcoin and the entire crypto market, because if we're able to establish a bullish order block at the area of $66,000 to $70,000, then that just shows how strong it is. I mean, we can from here end up pumping to like 80,000-90,000. I'll go through the heat maps in a few seconds. If we pump to like 90,000 and then need a retracement, we would most likely retrace down to this order block. And even though that is quite a big jump, from 90,000 all the way down to 60,000-70,000, it's still very high up for Bitcoin. Like, we have to remember, a few months ago we were down in 20,000, and 11 12 months ago we were down to an all-time low of $15,900. So to say the least, Bitcoin is performing extremely well, and we are approaching the all-time high very soon. It's like $1,000 away. And the key cause of this, at least in my opinion, is A, not only the technicals, but B, we're approaching November and that's when the election's happening, and C, Trump now has a lead on Polymarket at least of 66%, and Kamala is at 34%. So that's absolutely insane. Now on Polymarket, I think even Trump winning every single state is becoming a higher and higher chance. So that just goes to show how bullish that is, because Trump is obviously very pro crypto. And a lot of videos ago, in August, September, October, I was saying that if Trump wins the election, that will be extremely bullish for Bitcoin and the entire crypto market. And a lot of people were telling me in the comments that's not the reason why Bitcoin and the entire crypto market is going to pump. Trump has no effect on it, whatever. But this just goes to show. But obviously it's going to be a bit of a case of buy the rumor, sell the news. And what that essentially means is that obviously now the hype is building up and we're going to pump a lot. But when the election day actually happens, and probably a few weeks post-election, we're going to see a bit of a dump, simply because the rumors are always the thing that causes the pump, and when the news actually happens, it's already priced in, so there's nowhere to really pump, and we just have a slight sell-off. But that's okay, because now we're obviously experiencing pump. But yeah, let's cover the first heat map. So the first heat map we have is the 24-hour heat map, and it is a bit of a mess, I won't lie. Obviously we have this huge pump, but we have a lot of liquidations that are just randomly dispersed. So we had a lot of liquidations building up here at the highs, and obviously we're in an uptrend, so we're going to clear those first, and we cleared them with this candle right here. Now we have liquidations just below 72,000, just above 70,000. I'd say this is like 70,000, 71,000 and a bit, and then a few below 70,000. Now, when we have these huge volatile moments on the lower time frame heat maps, these liquidations will look very, very messy, and it's very hard to judge how they will play out, because we're obviously very bullish right now. But that doesn't mean that we won't just dump and collect these liquidations, because that a lot of the time is what happens and is what is going to happen. So this is below 70,000. So if you look at the chart here, it's probably going to be just at the retest here. So my guess is that the daily candle is probably going to close, and we're most likely going to see a quick sell off to roughly 70,000, something like this, before we see any sort of rise. Now, in a perfect scenario, this weekly candle closes above this red box, and above these candles especially. That will be extremely bullish and an extremely good scenario for us to play out. However, we'll have to wait and see until Sunday to see what happens. It's obviously very, very early into the week. It's only Tuesday, and I think our next candle is probably going to be a bit of a flush down to 70 and just below 70,000. That's 69,000. Now, on the higher time frame heat map right here, this is the 3-day. The 1 week, by the way, has no major liquidation, so it's only these lower time frame heat maps. But you can see here more clearly that we cleared these liquidations here with that candle wick, and maybe we didn't clear fully, but we'll see. We'll clear these easily, and then we're most likely going to dump down to at least the lows below 72,000 and just above 70,000 right here. So I think that's going to happen within the coming days, if not the coming hours. Obviously expect a lot of volatility right now in the market. Everyone is, talking about it. It's all over the news, and I won't be surprised if a lot of FOMO starts kicking in, and if we don't get a similar scenario like we did here, in like 2021, where we saw the first initial run up from like 10,000 to 40,000, a bit of a dump down to 30,000, and then a continuation to 64,000, 70,000. So similar to what we're seeing now, just obviously on a larger scale. We got the pump from all these lows to a high of 72,000, all-time high of 72,000, and then a dump down to 50, just below 50, and now we're obviously scaling back up. So I think that's something that is most likely to happen now. For alts to really be pumping, we need Bitcoin dominance to start falling, and obviously, as you can tell, it is not falling. It is on a huge rise. Keep trying to hit new all-time highs when we need it to hit new lows and just constantly break down, but it isn't doing so. So until that happens, we won't get an alt season. And for that to really happen, we need ETH to be pumping a lot more. Like right now, Bitcoin is approaching its all-time high. And ETH is not even approaching its yearly high. But obviously it moves in cycles, so even though we were buying ETH in this red zone right here, it's still a decent opportunity to be buying ETH because it's lagging behind Bitcoin so much. And after the Bitcoin cycle, we move into the Ethereum cycle. After the Ethereum cycle, we move into an altcoin cycle. So that's usually how you want to disperse your money. First you want to go into Bitcoin, then you want to go into ETH, then you want to go into altcoins. It's usually just how it works. We'll get the initial pump on Bitcoin, a sell off, then the pump on ETH, when everyone thinks it's the ETH flipping, ETH is going to flip Bitcoin market cap, then a sell off on ETH, and then altcoins pump. But it's obviously not on a day-to-day basis. This is a cycle that happens over a year, for example, and it's usually what shows us the bull market is begun and has ended, and so on and so forth. Now, if you don't want to be getting trades every single day, then check out the Discord down below because we are absolutely crushing it in there. If you need a place to buy, sell, or trade Bitcoin or any other crypto for that matter, then check out all the exchanges we're working with down below also. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. Goodbye, guys.